This is the wire that we're going to strip down, the EC wire that pays $1.27. And it's aluminum wire. There's 3 4-aught wires in there, and then there's that smaller one's a 2-aught wire. That's the ground. So we're going to strip this all down. We're going to see what we can get. Okay, before we get started on this wire, I'll show you my latest scrapyard run. So I took all my brass and copper to the scrapyard in 2 different trips. So this is the first trip that I took here, and I went to the place that I was kind of happy with, you know, until this time here. So I turned in 80 pounds of number 2 copper, which that price went to $3.35 for $2.68. I turned in bare bright, 87 pounds of that for $3.70, so that price is okay. For $3.21. Then I had some mixed aluminum, which is just cast and sheet, and they pay 60 cents a pound for that. I had aluminum copper radiator, 17 pounds. That paid $1.75, which is up from $1.50, so that's nice. But then I have all my yellow brass here. You saw all the brass fixtures that I had broke down in the other video that I did, and they had a grinder, and they grind tested every single piece in there. I mean, I was there for a long time, and they ended up finding 4 pounds of what they called stainless mixed. And what that was a bathroom fixture. It was a toilet fixture that had a stainless steel nut on it that I didn't remove. So they dinged me for that. 4 pounds. Instead of paying $2.30, they paid 12 cents. But here's the thing that really kind of upset me is the yellow brass. They told me $2.30 when I called on the phone. I went right up there. After I waited a long time for them to test every piece, they paid me, and I walked out and I seen that they had only given me $2.10 a pound instead of the $2.30. So that kind of upset me. But all in all, I ended up getting $966, and I'm glad I only took half of that up there. Because then the next day I went to a different yard, and they had number 2 copper, which was $3.40. I had 41 pounds of number 2 copper again, and $139.40. And then the yellow brass, I had 297 pounds that I took in $2.30 for a total of $683. Now this MLCC clips, this is the EC wire that we're going to do this video on. I cut off about I don't know, 15 pounds or whatever, and stripped it down, and they paid 70 cents a pound where I took it. But I found another place which is just down the road from these guys here, a couple miles, and they pay $1.27 a pound for that EC wire. So we're going to strip this wire down today. So those are my runs there, and I come up with a total of $966 and $832 for a total of $1,798 that we brought into the shop here. All right, let's go ahead and weigh this up, see what it weighs. And the scale, 405. I already cut 15 pounds off of this because I wanted to take it up to the scrapyard and see what they paid for it. But like I said, I found a place that pays $1.27 for this EC wire. It's clean, and so 430 pounds total. And I paid 10 cents a pound for this, and that includes the wood. I got to pay for the wood too, so that's just part of the deal. But I think we're going to do all right on that. $43 I spent on this. Let's see how much money we can make off of them. All right, let's get busy. Okay, you can see I got this reel all taken apart now. Got all that wire stripped off there. If you look at that wire right there, that's the reason why it was put in the scrap, because the wire got burnt. They used it as a temporary fix on a motor and then overamped it, and it burnt that wire all up, so they threw it in the scrap. That's why I got it. But right now I'm going to weigh this reel up, see how much that weighs. So it weighed 405 pounds plus the 15 pounds that I took off earlier. So we'll weigh it up and see how much this reel weighs and see how much wire we got. Then we'll strip all of this plastic off. And this is going to be a mess because it comes with a lot of, it's all wrapped with like this Teflon tape. It's going to be kind of messy when I strip this down. I'm just going to use a razor blade knife until we get down to the actual wire. Then I can use my wire stripper, so we'll be good with that. All right, let's weigh this up and see what we got. All right, so we got the scale zeroed out. Figure up and see what we got. 100 pounds. All right, so I'm gonna set you up and I'm just gonna start cutting this casing off of this wire here. Charlotte and I got all this wire taken care of. This is the stuff that was burnt. Here, I got two buckets of, I don't know what you call it, Brighton aluminum. So this stuff here was very difficult to get apart. Let me show you a piece here. It's just so bound up. The wire's actually good. I could strip that off with a knife and pull that aluminum out there. It's not stuck to the casing. The casing is stuck to itself. You can see how it just kind of molded itself or bonded itself to each other. And that whole roll right there is like that, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I think the scrapyard said that they pay like 40 or 45 cents. I can't remember what it is. I'll just write down it's 40 cents just. And then I'm going to weigh this up, and then I'm going to weigh up the aluminum, the old Bright and Shiny, the $1.27 a pound stuff. So, all right, so we got our, let's get our scale set at 0 there. Now, I don't want to rip myself off. There we go. All right. All right, let's put this up. See how much we got. All right, that's all off the ground there. We go to the other side. See what we're at. 95 pounds. So we got 95 pounds of coated aluminum. All right, so let's go ahead and weigh up our barrels of aluminum, the good aluminum. her up. Off the ground. So that tub weighs 11 pounds. And we are at, let's see, 78 pounds minus 11 pounds. So we got 67 pounds in this barrel. Now I got to weigh this one. So 67. All right. Lower it. Let's get her zeroed out. Okay, zeroed. She's swinging 92, 94. Let's see. Let's get her to stop swinging here. All right, 94 minus 11, so we're at 83 pounds. Okay, so here's what the final numbers are. At 95 pounds of coated aluminum, comes at 40 cents, comes at $38. And we had a total of 150 pounds of the EC aluminum wire. At $1.27, comes to $1.90 for a total of $228.50. Now it cost me $43, and that gives me a profit of $185.50 if you don't include my time and the gas it took me to go pick it up and all that stuff. That's $185 in my pocket. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video. I gotta get this over to the scrapyard so I can get paid. Thanks for watching.